Join me as I take on the challenge of starting over at 33 and figuring out what's next in my life. Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Abundantly Aware. I'm your host, Katie, and I appreciate so much that you are here because I know that the internet is loud and there are a lot of voices, so thank you so much for coming to listen to my noise. All right. I'm sure that you've seen on the internet recently, and really, I feel like it kind of goes in cycles. A lot of 30-somethings are going through it right now. Whether it's losing their job or deciding to leave their job and change careers, moving countries, choosing van life, the list goes on. There's so much more. And we're doing it all and and choosing to create series to go along with it. So, this is the start of my journey and my series titled Reinventing Life at 33. I hope you'll come along. It's going to be a monthly series, so stick on for the ride at Abundantly Aware to get all of the updates along the way. For me, it's a career change, a complete and entire career shift, but it feels more like a whole entire life shift because I've been working as a full-time entrepreneur for about a year and a half, and I've had not one, but two businesses. One of which I shut down because I hate it. Curse words, hate it. It's not for me. Virtual assistant work is not for me. I appreciate all those that enjoy it and like it and want to do it for the rest of their lives. Thank you so much. You're doing a great service. That is actually in hot commodity and hot demand. It's just not for me. I absolutely hate it. But the second job that I have, the second business, should I say, is this one, is the podcast, along with a self-paced program that's coming out in a few months called The First Page. And so digital products. And so it's completely shifted from where it used to be, where it once was in the beginning of like a year and a half ago, when I left my job to do it full time. But this is all to say that I'm not just looking for a job. I found one. And it starts in August, and I'm really happy and excited. I'm so excited. Over the moon excited, actually. I spoke about the whole transition and the whole change in an episode, so I'll link it up in the cards for you to watch that one as well if you'd like to. But yeah, I found a job. I'm really excited about it. And I have tried building a business alongside full-time work before. Like, that's why I'd only been doing full-time entrepreneurship for about a year and a half, because I had a job at one point as well. But it was a different version of this business entirely. And I was in the early stages of just trying to figure it out. But now my business, I have a clear plan. But with this job, because it's in a completely different industry, and I'm going back to my roots, I feel like. And it's a whole career change and a whole different possibility for what my career as a whole, both my business and my career, could look like. So I'm kind of nervous. But this all goes back to the beginning. You know, all of us at the ripe old age of 18 go out on an adventure and are tasked with knowing what our careers are going to be. And specifically in Canada, or in North America in general, I think, our careers are us. Our careers are who we are. We identify ourselves as our careers. When you're meeting new people, what do you do? Not like, what are your hobbies? How do you identify as a human being on this earth? No, what do you do? So I personally, I was 19. I chose to go into animal care. It was about a 7 to 8 month certificate program in animal care. And it was great. It was a great experience. I got a job about a month after, graduated in August, got a job in September. Amazing. And I came out debt free. So that was also freaking fantastic. But the starting wage was minimum wage. And now it's a little bit more, but I think that experience was fantastic because it let me know that those positions existed, because prior to that, I didn't know. I just thought everybody had to go to many years of school to work there. I didn't know that you could just basically come off the street, because you could. That job that I started at the time, there were two of us in my interview. There were two of us, and we both got the job. And he didn't have any actual experience other than, I think, his family bred dogs or something along those lines. So wild, right? And he was a DJ on his spare time. Weird. So safe to say I didn't need schooling to do what I was doing. But all in all, it was a good choice. The best choice, I think. Because I also found my soul cat, who, alas, through that experience, I would not have met him if I wasn't in class that day. So it paid for itself in spades. However, that was back then. And a little while after that, things happened and shifted. Like I said in a previous, I think I talked about this in a previous episode, what all happened. And I ended up changing into a different field, a completely different field. And it was like in administration, and I ended up going back to school. Peer pressured, to be honest. I felt peer pressured that I had to go to school in order to make something of myself in the business world, which, do I really believe that to be true? No. I think I could have taken my experience at that job and used it to go somewhere else where I could move up the ladder to make more money if I wanted to. Granted, I think I'd still be in the same position, not liking it so many years later. But that one was definitely a waste of time and a waste of money. And like I said, I wish I'd done different things, but we win some and we lose some. So here we are now today. And now I'm choosing again, and I'm choosing to go back into veterinary medicine. And, you know, my new position is at a veterinary clinic in my city, and I'm really excited about it. I'm so excited to try and see what this is all about, and get to know and experience it again. However, I'm also terrified because I don't know what to do next with this new change. And I feel like there are many different possibilities. So, possibility one, I go to school, or yes, possibility one, I go to school after this. I work for a year. I love it. I pay down the debt that we still have, and I go back to school in like 2 to 4 years. And then I become a vet tech, and I work as a vet tech. And basically, my salary doubles and can triple if I go to school, which would be great ROI, right? Schooling, I looked into it. It's about a little over $5,000 each year, and that's not including books. But this new position that I have is awesome, and I think it subsidizes some of your schooling. Now, I don't know if they only force you to go to one school, because I was like going through some onboarding stuff, and I saw a specific school, but it's all online, and I don't want to do online. I think that you really need to be in it specifically for this kind of work. Like, I wouldn't want to do nursing school online either. I would want to be in the trenches. Like, I want to be with the animals. And the specific school that I'm looking at has animals in like there, because they have the space for it. There are other schools that you can go to that don't. I don't want to go to those. I want to go to the one that does, personally. And they also have options for some courses to be online, which is fantastic. I think hybrid is the way to go. Have the like brainy things at my house on my computer, and have all the tactical things in person. Because I want to be able to, practice drawing blood, and I want to be able to practice giving vaccines and all of that kind of stuff. And drawing out medication, because that's essentially is what a vet tech is, a nurse, but for animals. So there's that option, go to school. Another option is I don't like it, and I try and find something that pays a little bit more in a different field that I don't have to go back to school for. That's option 2. Option 3 is I don't like it. I stick around until I'm debt free, and I go back to school for something different. So there are 3 options, and I hope the one I want to go for is I love it there, and I stick around for 2 to 4 years, and I love it, and I save up for school, and they subsidize my schooling, and I go to school and I love it. And I become a vet tech, and I graduated like in my late 30s and at 38. And I take on a new career, and the podcast and everything is also being seen by so many, and I'm helping so many people discover journaling and learn that journaling exists. And maybe I partner the two, maybe I don't. Maybe I grow both at the same time, and I have two amazing careers at the same time. Who knows? But that would be the ideal for me. Okay. So this specifically, this series is to show you the possibilities, and to show you what's going to happen. I mean, you'll at least know what happens in the first year of this experience. I've journaled about this for a very, very long time, and journaling is specifically what helped me realize, like, it took me about 2 months to realize that I needed a job. Because when you're working as an entrepreneur, it's really hard to go back. It's really hard to sort of like take the L, for lack of better words, and just be like, I have to go back to work. It's a really hard decision that many entrepreneurs don't make until the last possible second, and I feel like I was maybe there. Because like I had to close the first business because I hated it, and I didn't start a business to hate my work, you know? And abundantly aware, she is going to take some time to grow. It's going to take some time for you guys to know about me. It's going to take some time for you to share this episode with your friends to let them know that I exist. And it's going to take some time for more people to come up into my world so that they can experience the first page, and they can experience the joys and the magic of journaling. And that's okay. And that's why I got a job. But it took me another, about a month to realize that I wanted to go back into animal care, all with the help of my journal. And I actually talk about this in another episode, which I will link, that it takes time to see those huge changes. And even though I've been journaling for over 4 years now at this point, it still took me, a month or two to finally drill it into my head that this was the decision for me. And this was the road to take. But now that I'm here, like I said before, I talked about the 3 decisions that I have to make. Like, what is next? And through journaling, but also through talking to friends, that is how I realized that I don't think I'm cut out for full-time entrepreneurship. And I think I like a job on top of that. And so I'm left with that decision to make, with those 3 different roads to take. But I don't think I can make any decision until I at least stick it out for 3 months. And that's really hard for me because my ADHD shows up as someone who is a super planner. I plan. So I've literally come up with those are only 3 of the plans that I mentioned to you. There are so many more, and there are so many moving pieces because I don't know what's going to happen. And because I don't know and my future isn't clear, I'm just planning. That's when I find that I create the 3 and 5 year plan. That is a problem. My brain is having a malfunction when I'm thinking about 5-year plans, which is crazy to think because so many people are like, oh, I created this 5-year plan so that I could complete this thing. But those are kind of detrimental to me, to be honest. So do I go back to school? I don't know. Do I go back to school for vet tech? Do I go back to school for something completely different? Do I not go back to school at all? Do I try to find something else? I don't know. But I will be asking all of the questions, and I'll be learning as much as I possibly can about the world of veterinary medicine, as much as I possibly can. Because I know that from my first experience, I never want to work in a hospital ever again. But a clinic that closes at 9 p.m., I'm totally about that. That is totally for me. So let's see. What I do know is, for the time being, I'm going to enjoy what I have. I'm going to enjoy this consistency of work, and the consistency of income specifically. But I also know that I am creative and I love showing other people the benefits of journaling. So, and the power and the magic that it can bring to your life. And getting paid for that is basically a dream come true for me. So I like both of those options at the moment. Um, and who said I couldn't do both? Who said I couldn't do both things? I constantly remind myself that I can choose again, in quotes, choose again. So I'm taking this as that kind of moment that I can choose again and that all three options are available to me and all infinite options are available to me. But I'm going to stick in this moment and I'm going to enjoy the fact that I got a job so quickly and I got a job that I'm really, really excited for. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So, it's time to come on this journey of building abundantly aware at the same time as deciding if I want to build a completely different career on the side in between. And as well as writing, because I'm still writing my queer fantasy book. So 3 things. Come along for the journey. Maybe you might be hit with a 4th or the 5th or a 6th. That's how you know. I don't want to niche down, and I don't think I have to. So you can always go back to something that you once loved, and you can always reinvent yourself in your 30s. I just want to leave you with that. So come along for the ride, and if you're on your own journey of reinvention, no matter what it is or what your age is, I would love for you to leave that in the comments down below. Or you can DM me on IG at Abundantly Aware. And you can even share this with a friend, like I've said many, many times, that might be on the same journey or might be super confused and they don't know what to do. I think listening to other people's journeys is really helpful. And that's also a part of how I came to this conclusion and how I'm okay with reinventing myself at 33. And until next time, let's become abundantly aware together. All right. Thanks. Bye for now.